Today we're going to draw a lighthouse. Notice the little moon in the sky? This little fella decided to put a sun in the sky. It's up to you. And this little fella has clouds in the sky. And this little girl, look what she did. She let the watercolors dance on the page and run into each other. That's party, party, party. Really nice. And I think this little girl dabbed the sky with a paper towel to create that mottled effect. Really, really nice. Okay, let's get going on this particular drawing. It's a lot of fun. Now, once again, you'll need a piece of paper on a vertical orientation, your Sharpie for drawing, and your watercolors. But if you'd like to use some crayons or oil pastels, you can use them for the stars, the moon, or the clouds. It's up to you. All right, let's get going. All right, now we're going to start with the little house that's in front of the lighthouse. And that's going to be the angled part of the roof. Looks like an upside down V. Notice it's at the bottom half of your middle section of your page. This is at a slight angle, and this is a parallel line. And then we'll just connect those two. That gives you perspective of this particular little house. And remember, if we're going too fast, just pause your videotape. I tend to draw a little quickly here on these just to get you going. All right, then from that particular second line, we're going to do a straight line down on the corners. And this one's going to be a little bit shorter. Before I close that off, I want to add some bushes. I'm just going to go right in here like this. And then close it off. I'll add some bushes here. Remember the foreground. Should have been drawn first, but I didn't do it this time. There, close that off. There's your little house. Now you can do a rectangular door or an arch door, whichever you would like. And then add a few windows. I'm making this really simple and sort of cartoony, so you can embellish it any way you would like, because remember, you're the artist. You make it work for you. Look, that's a funny looking window. All right, now the lighthouse itself is going to go behind this little house. This is where they live, and then this is where they work, where they go look out after all the boats. So I'm going to do a slightly angled line that's going to be one side of the lighthouse. Look at my pen, it's just not very straight. And then here's the second line, but it's going to go behind the house, the little house that we already did. Now, same thing, I'm going to add the bushes here on the front of this lighthouse, and then I'm going to take this over behind the house. You don't see that. Then let's add a door, go in. This one's going to be a oval topped door, right? And then across the top here, do a curve. This is going to be the sort of railing behind. Curve, and then two straight lines up both sides. Remember, pause. I'm going fairly quickly here, so just pause the video and get caught up. And then I'm going to curve that off. Close it with a curve. Then add your little railing, which is double lines. Right? And then we're going to do the little house part, which is two straight lines. And close that off with a curve also. And then within that one, we're going to do little skinny rectangles. It's sort of the window area. We're almost there. Now on either side of that last section, you're going to do two angled lines up. And then close that off. It's sort of like a flat top roof. And you can do this with a Sharpie, or you can do it with colored pens or markers. And then here's your little light at the top. This looks rather big. See how this line went way over here? I didn't mean to do that, but I'm going to fix it by making this curve back so it looks like it is a sort of a deck all around the lighthouse. That was a oops happy mistake, an oops surprise. I like that. Okay, the last thing we're going to do is we're going to add some oval windows that go up at an angle. All right, I think I'll start top one and then move it over slightly to, these are the stairway windows going up to the top. If you have room for 4, that's fine. All right, right now they're sitting in space, but let's put them on a cliff because they are usually at the edge of the water. So I'm going to have my cliff start back here, the rocky cliff, and then go down into the water. Right, the water's going to be back there. I'll add a few rocks here to show that there it is a craggy coastline. And if you like, let's add some bushes up here, or a tree, whatever you'd like. And then the last thing is the water. So your water horizon line can be down here if you like, little ripply water there. I rather like it up here to divide up this big space. It's a little bit too much for me, so I'm going to divide up with water. Now notice I'm not doing a perfectly straight line. I'm twisting my pen to create a little bit of a, ripple. You don't have to do the whole line. That's the water back there. Now, you can do the moon or stars with your Sharpie, but I'm going to use, once again, do a moon in my oil pastel crayon so that I can paint this with wonderful watercolor and have it resist. It's a kind of a low moon. And then I'll do some stars up here. You won't be able to see this, but I'll show you some examples again, and you can see how the crayon resist works with the watercolor. Okay, now you guys go paint this. Okay, now this was the drawing, and I'm going to go back and show you what you saw at the beginning. They outlined their stars with Sharpie, very nice. But also notice several of them, they have a darker side of the lighthouse, which makes it look round. It's white in the middle there, and then dark on either side. That gives it volume, makes it look like it's round. They did the same thing. This is all Sharpie and watercolor. And this one is the one that had the clouds and done with oil pastel or crayon for crayon resist. And then notice the dark on the edge to make it look round. This was the sun, and they added grass. You could do that too, and a walkway. That's very nice. Yellow windows. See the dark on the side? And this is the first one that we saw as our example. Okay, now you guys go have some fun with this little drawing. It's really, really delightful. Now I just quickly painted this, but I want to show you how this oil pastel or crayon works with watercolor. See, that's called crayon resist. See how nice that is? Real juicy watercolor, and I'm mixing the colors, the blues and the purples. It looks really, woo! Go off the page, make it real loose watercolor. Remember, watercolor dances on the page. The colors mix. It's really lovely. Way to go. But I just want to show you this so you can go on your own. Okay. Have fun. Either use your Sharpie or your oil pastels or a combination of both. Okay, have some fun. Bye-bye. See you next time.